Alright guys, so this video was initially supposed to be a investment video, and I was going to talk about budget value, squad management and that sort of stuff, but instead I'm just going to talk about transfer tips because I reckon that's what people want. So first things first, I'm going to go into my club and I'm going to show you the players I packed from the starter packs alone. So I got this inform who I think he is, yeah, he's a quick sell. He's probably going to go, yeah, I'm going to quick sell him so I can get 9k. But I did get this Di Maria, which was a good pull, I'm not going to lie. Now at the moment he's going for, let's see, 9k. There's an open bid there. I reckon it's probably, oh, there's one there for 13k. I didn't think it'd be that low. Okay, I'm probably gonna sell him for 13k. I also did get this Hummels, who, let's see how much he goes for. 12k, 10k, 7k. Wow, I think I'm probably gonna sell him as well. I got Kepa, Rudiger. I got some pretty good players, I'm not gonna lie. But the best player that I did get was this bad boy, Marcus Rashford. Now he's going to go straight into my starting lineup. He'll probably be there for a couple of months. Yeah, I got him from the SBC. So part one is, in order to get this 0 here to as high as possible. Oh, Man United just scored a second goal. But what you want to do is you want to get this SBC done, the Let's Get Started SBC. Once you do them, the rest of them will show up. So from completing that, you get a two player pack, and one of them was Marcus Rashford. Next step is to get these done. Let's keep going. Let's move forward. League and Nation basics. You should be able to do these with players that you have in your club. What I'd advise you do is, as soon as you get someone, if they don't go into an SBC, sell it. Tomorrow EA Play will go up around 4 p.m. so people will start playing a game and people will start building up their coin value from there. I certainly will. I'm going to be opening packs as well. So what you want to do is you want to try and get your capital up as soon as possible. Stay away from these SBCs, but advanced SBCs I definitely do because the rewards are normally good. Now, ways that you can actually make transfer profit. So, the first player I'm going to go and talk about is Timo Werner. And the reason I'm going to talk about him is because, and I've already searched this before, so there's one there for 76k, but that's not the one we're looking at. This one here, 40k. Now, I reckon he's probably going to sell for around 50-ish k, which is really good to be honest, because look, he's German, he's a Premier League striker, he's got 91 pace and he plays for Chelsea. There's not going to be many strikers better than that, Jamie Vardy probably. But the reason why I'd target him for an investment opportunity is on Friday, I believe, not this Friday, but next Friday, he'll be out of packs. So he's going to be one to watch. So this will be replaced with his one to watch item. So it'll be harder to buy his standard 85 off the market. Now, let's say his price is mellows at around 50k or maybe even higher. Once he's out of packs that week that people are going to want to buy him to use him in the weekend league, his price should go up to maybe 60k, 65, maybe even 75k. His max at the moment looks like it's 200k, so there's a lot of room for improvement. So he's definitely someone who I'm going to be buying. Then other players you can think about buying. Let's see, Rodrigo is another player. And the reason I'm going to say him is because he's pretty quick. There's actually none on the market. Okay. But Timo Werner, what others are there? I remember last year Serge Gnabry was one that went extinct, but his pace has been downgraded a lot. Martial is another one. I don't think there's going to be any on the market because his max bin at the moment is 60k. Oh, it's already been increased, but there's quite a few actually. 50k, again, that's a bargain, that's a steal. French, Premier League, Manchester United, 89 pace, 83 shooting, 87 dribbling. Another prime target. Now, these are expensive investments. They're not the ones, you can start off easier. You can go for your standard Premier League wide players, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, League One maybe as well. Wide players buying for 350 coins, 400 coins, list them up for 600, 700, and they will sell. And they'll be useful for SBCs, etc. So you can do that. You want to go for right mid, right back, left back. Stick to them in the Premier League is guaranteed profit. But that's how you start off small and you turn that into bigger profits. Once you get more money, you start investing more money. The other way you can invest in is the team of the week. Now, if you go into the home screen and actually click team of the week, no one will come up here. So if I just switch tabs, yes, I am watching Britain's Got Talent, but this is team of the week 1. So you want to look in here. There's now all of these are already out of packs, obviously, the standard cards. Upamecano, he would have been a good investment if you managed to get into the app before 6 o'clock. But let's not talk about that. This Jamie Vardy, let's talk about him. He's a marquee player here. Him and Ansu Fati, both of them. They're going to be, if you pack them, I'd probably hold on to them. Maybe even this Bruno Fernandes. I remember a couple of years ago, Antonio Valencia got into Team of the Week 1, and his price rocketed because he became the best right back in the game. So I remember in Team of the Week 1, he was going for around 100k. A couple of months after that, he was going at 150. 3 or 4 months after that, he went to 600 or 700k once the pro started using him. Now, I don't see anyone similar to that in here. There is this Upamecano, but there's a lot of centre-backs with 80 and plus pace. Obviously, he was a right back in the Premier League. Obviously, there's Ben Yedder, there's Vardy, but there are alternatives you can use. So I'm not sure if they're going to increase that much, but they will definitely increase. That's a funny tweet there by Don't Put Trader. But that's Team of the Week. What you can do for the next Team of the Week. So once you know a player is going to get into Team of the Week, so let's give you an example. Let's say, I don't know, let's say Martial at the weekend scores a hat-trick. You know he's going to get into Team of the Week. So what you want to do is you want to buy his standard card on the Sunday or the Saturday. So let's say he gets a hat-trick on the Saturday. You want to go and buy it as soon as possible. Because the aim is, once his standard card is out of packs and his inform is in packs, his standard card will begin to rise, and then you want to start selling them. What you want to aim for is 10 to 20. So Martial's a bad example because he's going to be expensive, but let's just say Rudiger gets a Team of the Week. Now let's say he goes for 3 or 4k. You want to buy 20 of him, so that's, what's that, about 40, 80k if it's 10 to 20, because you want to fill out at least one page worth of his players. So you buy him for 2.5k, you list them up for 3.5, 4, and then you just keep relisting every hour. That's a guaranteed way to make profit. Team of the Week's always a good idea. Another way is if we go into Futbin. Now this is a bit of a cheeky way, but I'll talk about it now. So if you go into Futbin and you go into active challenges, this worked last year and the year before that and the year before that. So these are the easier ones, but if you go into the more difficult ones, so if you go into, let's see these. So I can't remember which one it was. It may have been this one, where one of them requires 11. No, it's not this one, but one of them requires 11 players from a different club, from a different league, with the same nation. Now, last year, one of the top rated voted solutions was a Portuguese team, and all of them required Rafael Leao in the starting lineup, who was a Portuguese striker that played in the Serie A for AC Milan. He started off at 1.9k, I remember, in early access, and I bought, I think it was 20 to 30 of him, and I started listing him. And when the game was released on the following Friday, he was selling for 3k, 4k, because what happens is, you want to pay attention to these pages and you want to click on them. There'll be none here, but you want to go into completed challenges and you want to look at the top voted ones. So there'll be 2 or 3 here, the cheapest and the top voted. You want to click into it. I can't actually give you an example because there's none on the market. And you want to look at the players that appear in multiple squads, and they're the players you want to target for investment. What you can also do is make an account, it's for free, and make a solution, use a certain player and upvote it. That way it appears at the top and you can use that for investments. But that's another method you can use. There are 3 methods I've talked about. There are various other methods you can use. There's a special card method, which I'll go into more once it is a viable option. At the moment, it's a bit tricky, so you can't really use it. But that's about it. So just to summarize, the 3 methods you can use: the Team of the Week method, buying players that are going to be in Team of the Week, because once they're out of packs, their value will increase. You can buy players in the early release of the game that will be going into weekend league squads. So you're thinking your Martials, your Timo Werners, your Rudigers, other centre-backs in bigger nations that are quick, that are easy to link to, because once people start thinking about weekend league squads, their prices will also go up. And then finally, you want to be using Futbin, using the SBCs, and you want to see players which appear in multiple SBC solutions, and you want to target them. You want to buy them at cheap, list about 1 or 2 pages of them at 2k above price if it's below 10k, and then you want to start listing them. But they're the transfer tips for week 1, and that should help you get started. I am going to go ahead and list up this Di Maria and Hummels, and then with that money I'm probably going to start investing in players below 10k and then move into your Timo Werners and your Martials. My next steps will be to get these SBCs completed as soon as possible. I want to try and get them done before the game is released. And that's just because so I have a bigger capital to play with. But those are my starting SBC tips for week 1. I'll try and get one of these out every week, if not every week, every 2 weeks, and updated. The SBC method that I mentioned, where you go into FUTBIN, that's usually good for the first month. After that, because there's more of a supply of a certain player on the market, it starts becoming less profitable. You might even start making losses. So once you sell your players, you want to reinvest them into the same player. But once you start seeing his price dip below what you're selling at, you want to sell all the players you got, and you want to stop and move on to the next investment. But that's how you do it. The more money you invest, the more money you'll make. That's all about budget value. One last thing I'll talk about is starter squads. So when it comes to starter squads, one thing I did want to mention. Now, I've put a starter squad up on the screen here. It shouldn't be that expensive. Adama Traoré and Rodrigo may well be expensive. Klosterman may well be. There's 2 spots I've left open. You can fill them in with either Bundesliga players, Premier League players, or a perfect link. So what I mean is, this Rodrigo. Now I might get to a point where I want to upgrade this Rodrigo into, say, a Martial or an Aguero or someone. But they're obviously going to cost over... The Martial might... I mean, at the moment he's only going for 30k, but he might eventually go for 70k. Let's say I had 100k in the bank. Instead of upgrading him, because upgrading him is probably going to give me, let's say, 1 or 2 more wins, I'd rather not get those 1 or 2 wins, keep this squad because it's a good starter squad, and invest that 100k into players so I can turn that 100k into 150k, and you keep going. What you want to do is you don't want to make any transfers or changes to your squad until the meta has been established. So nippy players might be the meta again. Back post headers might be a thing. Once that's established, once you know what your style of play is, that's when you want to start making upgrades. You can make changes to your team. So let's say I've got this lineup, but I realise this Alex Moreno is too attacking. So I might get rid of him, get another. I might sell him for, let's say, 3k and buy a replacement for either less or, let's say, 4k, but who's a bit more defensive. Those sort of changes are fine because it's going to improve you as a player, but I wouldn't advise, getting rid of this Alex Moreno and buying Jordi Alba, who's going to cost you, I don't know, 50k. Unless it's untradeable, that's a different question, but those sort of investments, I'd hold off at least for a month, maybe even 2 months until Black Friday, but that's all I want to mention on starter squads. So that's it, guys. There's the transfer tips for week 1. Now, I am actually part of quite a few Patreons and some Telegram trading groups, so any tips that are posted in there, I'll be sure to either tweet out or make a video on. Obviously, I won't be doing all of them, otherwise it defeats the purpose of being in the group. But as much as I can share, I will share. There's a few investment methods that were good for FIFA 20, which will probably be good for FIFA 21, but it only works once I show you on the console, so I'll be doing that. So yeah, for them tips and for anything else, be sure to check out my Twitter. The Twitter handle is in the description below. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. I'll be doing a video either tomorrow or the day after that, and I will do one next week, ideally when the full game is out, just to see, a kind of a reflection of the investments in the past week. But yeah, be sure to subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, and until the next one, peace.